I got a couple weird ones for you this week. Welcome, metalheads. I'm the host of Heavy Metal Philosophy and writer for Metal Digest, John Barbas. Make sure you stick around to the end of the episode for this week's album art of the week. It's the weekend. That means we got new metal albums to talk about, and I'm bringing you my top 5. But before we do the top 5, let's talk about some of the big releases this week. There's a new record from Dark Tranquility. End Time Signals, the OGs of melodic death metal, are bringing you some more of that Gothenburg goodness. Also, Ukrainian stoner doom kings Stoned Jesus are reissuing their 2011 record Seven Thunders Roar. It's got the original 5 songs as well as some bonus edits, outtakes, extended editions, and instrumentals. If you like that heavy, groovy stoner doom, check it out. And there's a new album from Jael called Persona. Do you like hardcore? I like hardcore. Hardcore from New Jersey. And lastly, before we jump into the top 5, there's a new one from Icord called Abart, that gothic, doomy black metal. By the way, did you know that there's 2 albums from this band that are completely banned in Germany? Now let's do the top 5. Coming in at number 5, Evilin with Mondestruken. This is avant-garde death metal, an international band. This one's not gonna be for everybody. Some of y'all might not like this one, but I love weird death metal, and this definitely qualifies. It's highly unpredictable, and I couldn't really headbang to it because it's one of those bands where you have to learn the songs first before you can headbang, because as soon as you get into a rhythm, they're doing something else super strange. So this really tickled my novelty itch, and it's disgusting. Yeah, check it out. Coming in at number 4, this one's also not very pleasant to listen to. Blind Monarch with The Dead Replenish the Earth, sludgy doom out of the UK. Real evil sounding on this one, slow and grinding. It sounds like a necromancer casting a spell during the end times. It's like the soundtrack of ultimate entropy. Coming in at number 3, NERTI, spiral black, blackened death metal out of the UK. Did I pronounce that right? Here's the text on the screen just in case. And as always, every band's Bandcamp links will be in the description so that these albums are easy to find. And for this one, I picked it because of how unsettling it is. Even the bass is unsettling. This to me is like horror movie music, but not slasher or monster movie horror stuff. This is like where there's revelations about reality that are incomprehensible. But it's not all unpleasant and eerie. Some of the guitar harmonies on this are quite elegant, so I actually did enjoy this one as far as pleasant music, even though it's so dark and disturbing. That's a weird way to describe it. You'll have to just listen to it and see for yourself. Coming in at number 2, Extinction AD, To the Detested. This is some thrashy hardcore out of New York State, and this really speaks my language because it's got the groove of modern thrash, but it's got the anger of hardcore. The drumming is also hardcore, and that punk rock content, the scathing social commentary. This is perfect for somebody like me, and probably you too if you check it out. And hey, before we do number 1, just got a couple things I want to say to you. If you love metal the way that I love metal, then you're in the right place, and you should join the Heavy Metal Philosophy community, because that's all we do here. Every weekend, breaking down the best new metal albums. Every Tuesday, the podcast on all platforms about, you guessed it, metal. And also, don't forget, there's only a couple more weeks of the summer left, which means there's only a couple more weeks of my summer collection, the Nocturno collab, the Summer Brew. and all kinds of other keep you cool but also still metal merch. That's up on the website. All you gotta do is click the link in the description. But most importantly, let's get back to the music. Let's do number one. Coming in at number one, Vile Rites, Senescent, progressive death metal out of California. And you know, most of the time with these top fives, you could really arrange them in any order. They're all good. I just, we have to put them in some kind of order, but this one's number one with a bullet. I was absolutely thrilled with this record. I love when I fire up a record and I find something that I didn't know I was missing. And that's what happened here. I fired this up and I went, whoa. And now I know that this is the kind of metal that I'm after. And if you listen to it, all the different parts, if you keep them as individual parts, you've probably heard that sort of thing before. But this is more than just the sum of the parts. So surprising. I found myself oftentimes headbanging, all of a sudden to be jolted out of it and go, oh, that's a neat decision that they made. This is super well crafted. And when I say it's prog death metal, they don't get all in the weeds of the prog part. It is hard all the time. If it's not hard during the soft parts, it's dark and sinister. None of that let's show off our chops sort of thing here. It's just weird, which is perfect for somebody like me. And we're not done being weird because we still got Dealer's Choice and the album art of the week to talk about. All right, as you know, this is the best new metal album show. I only talk about full albums, not singles, not EPs, but Dealer's Choice allows me to pick whatever I want and break the rules. So here we go, the debut EP, self-titled From Holy Blade. This is traditional heavy metal with a strong mix of punk in there. It's that real fun kind of heavy metal. And then the punk drums, those real upbeat, get you moving sort of drums. This is a good time. Just look at that album cover. You know what you're getting. And speaking of fun album covers, my favorite album art this week comes from Occult Future, Kali Yuga Express. This is like some psychedelic space rock out of the UK, and I just love this concept right here. I don't know what doorway this keyhole is in, but if you take a little peek, get a little curious and you put your eyeball up and look through the keyhole, there's death waiting on you in this weird dimensional color scheme. The art style of this really reminds me of the Nocturno Summer Brew merch shirt, and I'm not just plugging that one more time to try to get y'all to buy the merch before it runs out. I'm serious. These art styles look somewhat similar to me. I love this psychedelic but also, existential death sort of art. That's why I picked this one. Plus the music is pretty cool too. And speaking of cool music, did you catch this week's podcast where I ranked every Opeth album in a tier list, including the newest, yet to be released, The Last Will and Testament, which I was lucky enough to get a sneak preview stream of. So I've got that one ranked in there as well. If you want to see how it stacks up to the other Opeth albums, just click right here. But most importantly, read philosophy, listen to metal. I love you.